Ave coders. Today, the gloves are off. No sugarcoating. Python for haters. Every sin, every crime, every holy war of our favorite language. This is going to hurt, but it's going to be honest. Python is a toxic relationship. Every night you swear you're done with this nonsense, and every morning you're shipping it to prod again. Sound familiar? Quick disclaimer for the easily offended. I love Python, which is exactly why I get to roast it. Who else if not our own? So take a breath and let's run down the list of charges. Sin number 1, and the biggest. Python is slow. Not a bit slow in places. Honest, well-earned, card-carrying slow. It's interpreted, parsing every line on the fly. A simple loop that C finishes in a blink crawls tens of times slower in pure Python. For number crunching, that's a death sentence. Line up raw compute speed and the picture is humiliating. C and Rust rocket ahead, while Python limps in dead last, paying the bill for all that pretty syntax. And the root of all evil is called the GIL, the Global Interpreter Lock. Because of it, only one thread actually runs at a time. Want real multi-threading across your cores? Keep walking. And the funniest part? They admitted it's a problem. Here's the pep for finally making the GIL optional. They're fixing the exact thing haters have roasted for 20 years. So when an evangelist tells you how lightning fast Python is, just nod and remember the single thread doing all the work. Lightning fast. Sure. Sin number 2. Types are kind of optional. Dynamic typing is freedom, right up until the moment everything collapses in prod at 3 in the morning. The compiler checks nothing up front because there basically is no compiler. Pass a string where a number was expected and you won't hear about it at build time. You'll hear about it from a live user. Surprise! They woke up late and bolted type hints onto the side. Looks more serious, sure, but it's only a hint, and the runtime couldn't care less. Cosmetics over the same hole. Which is exactly where the legendary line "works on my machine" was born. It works on yours, and it falls over for the poor soul who sent the wrong type. Sin number 3. Your code breaks over whitespace. Yes, really. In Python, indentation isn't style, it's syntax, and it will not forgive you. Mix tabs with spaces, miss it with your eyes, and hello, indentation error. 2 visually identical blocks are different to the interpreter. Whole evenings disappear hunting one invisible space. And it kicked off the oldest holy war in computing. Tabs versus spaces. Friendships ended, teams split, all over characters you can't even see. Sin number 4, the one that turns juniors gray. Packaging and dependencies. In sane languages, that's one tool. In Python, it's a whole zoo. And every animal wants to be in charge. Behold the freak show. Pip, venv, virtualenv, poetry, conda, pyenv, pipenv. 7 tools for one job, none of them friends, and every guide swears by a different one. Welcome to hell. And the cherry on top, the question of which Python even runs here. System, brew, pyenv, your virtual environment, you type which Python and meditate on whatever the terminal coughs up. Just count the ways to install a package and spin up an environment. Where other languages ship one official manager, Python grew them like mushrooms after rain. The famous diagram where Python's dependencies look like a tangle of cables under a desk, that's not a joke. That's documentation. Pull one wire and the whole thing collapses. Sin number 5, historical trauma. The great schism between version 2 and version 3. For a whole decade, the language lived in a civil war with itself. Python 3 shipped and broke compatibility with 2. The world got stuck in limbo for years. Libraries wouldn't migrate, prod sat on 2, and the official funeral for Python 2 only happened in 2020. And the whole mess started from something this small. In 2, print was a statement. In 3, it became a function. The straw that broke the camel's back rewrote entire ecosystems. Sin number 6, the footguns ship in the standard kit. The language has a couple of traps everyone steps on, and they're still lying right there. The classic, a mutable default argument. An empty list in the default is created once and lives between calls, quietly hoarding everyone's garbage. Generations of devs have gone gray over this. Trap 2 for newcomers. Comparison. Double equals checks values. The word is checks. It's literally the same object in memory. Mix them up and you get a bug that technically isn't there. And the nastiest part, it doesn't even crash. It quietly works almost correctly. Then one fine day spits out nonsense, and you sit there wondering when the world broke. Sin number 7, almost Shakespearean. A tiny operator that made the creator of the language rage quit the throne. Seriously. Meet the walrus, the colon equals operator that lets you assign right inside a condition. Handy, divisive, and the community tore itself to splinters over it. The fights over this walrus got so vicious that Guido van Rossum, Python's creator and its lifelong dictator, got tired and stepped down. The language lost its king over a colon and an equals sign. Think about it. A man steered the language for 20 years, and what finished him wasn't a bug or a rival. It was a mailing list fight about syntax. Programmers. Gloriously petty. Sin number 8, a hater favorite. All that famous fast machine learning in Python? It isn't Python at all. It's makeup. When NumPy or PyTorch crunch matrices at terrifying speed, know that Python itself is just handing out orders. The real work happens in C, C++, and CUDA under the hood. Python is the manager, not the mover. So Python stands proudly on stage, soaking up the applause for a concert that C and the GPU actually played. Brilliant PR, but it leaves a bit of a taste. Sin number 9, mundane but rage-inducing. Actually shipping a finished app to a user. In sane languages, one file. In Python, a quest. No neat single binary for you. Drag along the interpreter, the environment, a pile of dependencies, and pray the user's version matches. But it ran on my machine, is the whole motto. And sin number 10, for dessert. Async, duct-taped on much later. And now it splits your entire codebase into 2 incompatible worlds. Async and await arrived, and the language split into 2 colors of function, plain blue ones and async red ones. You can't just call a red one from a blue one, and the infection creeps through the whole project. So the same library often gets written twice, a sync version and an async one. Double the work, double the bugs, and the eternal question. Can I even call this one from that one? And that's not all. On top, a pile of petty annoyances. None fatal on their own, but they grate every single day. A favorite, self. Every method forces you to drag a reference to the object itself as the first argument by hand. Other languages do it silently behind the scenes. Python makes you type self 1,000,000 times. And lambda here is a toy. In other languages, you can stuff half a program into an anonymous function. In Python, you get exactly one expression. One step out of line and go write a real function. And the cherry on top, there's no real privacy. An underscore before a name isn't protection. It's a polite request not to poke. Anyone who wants in walks right into your guts. And here's the twist. After all 10 sins, Python is still one of the most popular languages on the planet. A paradox? Not really. Because for all this mess, it pays you back by letting you ship working code faster than anyone. Productivity beats benchmarks, and the rankings shamelessly prove it. So here we stay in this toxic relationship. We curse it out, we roll our eyes at the GIL, and the very next morning we open the editor and write more Python. The bottom line is simple. Python is slow, leaky on types, drowning in packaging, with mailing list drama. And it's still a brilliant tool that millions love. You can roast it and use it at the same time. So go ahead and hate on Python, but with receipts, not from a script. And if this video landed and burned in the right places, you know what to do. Smash that imperial thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell.